How many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
Well. Like we were right. It's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it. That is the president. That's right. Joe tripping on a piece of lint, Biden. Joe tripping on his own tongue, Biden. Joe, what an asshole. And he allows nothing but bad things to happen. We're going to cover it all. I hope you are prepared, folks. You need the essentials, and you can get them at thepreparedmind.club right there. There it is. Yeah, there it is, our own website. For preppers, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. All kinds of crazy shit happened today, folks. Stupid people saying stupid things, doing stupid things, wishing for stupid things, praising stupid things. And by stupid, I mean SHTF things. A climate activist today or yesterday decided to come out. Decided to come out and tell everybody that blowing up pipelines is a good thing. A left-wing climate activist says people could be killed. He doesn't give a shit. Extremism, terrorism. Did I talk about this morning when I said what I said about these people? They absolutely believe anything they're told. And they go so far that they'll become terrorist criminals. Now, do they think that if they blow up a pipeline that people will live better? Maybe they do. Maybe they actually think that if they blow up pipelines, which releases lots of carbon, flames, and death, that'll make lives better. It'll save lives and make lives better. This is a unique thing to think about. They believe they're doing good things by blowing up other people's property, destroying property, reducing our energy independence as a country, reducing our ability to heat our homes during a crisis. And what crisis? A climate crisis, a cold crisis. See, they're willing to take this action, folks. They're willing to go to jail. They're willing to kill people over what they believe. Shouldn't we also be willing to, blow up things and kill people for the things we believe will make other people's lives better? Think about it. They're already willing to join the fight, folks. All they have to do is be allowed to get away with it, and then they will absolutely do it. If they think they're going to get caught, well, they're probably not going to blow up pipelines or commit arson or commit murder or grand larceny or kidnapping or extortion or bribery or anything else. But hey, with these left-wing prosecutors, district attorneys, and judges, they're getting away with a lot more. The reason this is important is it's not going to get better, folks. It is just going to get worse. They're coming on TV and saying they're happy with, they're endorsing terrorism and blowing up pipelines to save the earth. It was so hot in the year 1100 that grapes grew in England, and they have not grown there since. We've had a little ice age from 1200 to 1875. Let's just throw that number out there because they can't decide when it fucking ended. When did it quit being an ice age and start being normal again? Both of these things happened independent of the massive burning of fuel in automobiles. Folks, it's crazy. By the way, all of the hags and bitches on The View had a complete meltdown because Trump won in Iowa by the largest landslide ever. Forever. And what did they do? They threw a fit, talked a bunch of shit, and then shamed the voters. How dare you vote for what you believe in? How dare you think the things you do? How dare you live the lives you live? When these disgusting hags like Joy Behar and fat-ass Whoopi Goldberg disagree with you, shouldn't you disagree with a fat, disgusting slob like that? I'm talking about both of them. I'm going to call them that. I don't care if I am overweight at 285 pounds. They are fat and ugly, and I can diet. They can't. Sorry. You can't take a diet to get rid of ugly, you bitches. Crazy stuff, folks. Let us continue if we shall. Oh, first this. This set me off today. It is unfucking believable. Are you ready? Oh, you may want to sit down and put on your seatbelt for this one. Are you there? Are you strapped in? I hope you are. Here we go. YouTube, as you know, and I've bitched about, has demonetized this channel, taking all the advertisement cashola, and they put it in their pockets. I don't get any advertising revenue from them. The only way this channel is supported through YouTube is super chats and YouTube memberships. That's all they give, folks. That's it. Now, in addition to that, the bitch slap. Oh, you're monetized, but you don't get any advertising cash because you're bad, John. We don't like your words. Not only are they doing that, they are now pumping into my subscriptions pages on YouTube a bunch of pro-Muslim trash. That's right. I click on my subscription page to see who's talking about what for the day. Hey, I want to check out Fuzzy, want to check out Kaz, want to check out Vaughn, want to check out this news, that news, the other news channel. And I am not subscribed to these Muslim street debate trash websites on YouTube. But they're there. And they're just sticking them in there, sliding them in there, sliding them in there. So I just click on them and hit the thumbs down. Folks, the Muslims are out there winning arguments against non-Muslims on these videos to make the Muslims sound like they're peaceful and smart, and you should support them. One of these assholes in one of these videos, because I watched it, I needed to find out what they're about, says this: the Quran doesn't say kill civilians. That's what he said. That's what this Muslim said. So you can't blame all Muslims for the people being killed. Well, no shit. It doesn't say kill civilians. It teaches to kill infidels that refuse to convert. Infidels, folks, is everyone. Women, children, and civilians. Civilians, by the way, is a secular word that is not to be found in the Quran anyway. So by saying, hey, it doesn't say kill civilians, it's a good book. Of course it doesn't say that particular word. It also doesn't say rape all women. But in Europe and in America, they love to rape white women all the time. Every chance they get, as long as it's in line with the Quran and its teachings. Why? Because they believe in their heads that they are supposed to do that. It's their duty to rape, kill, maim, blow shit up. Now, the average nice Muslim, no problem, folks. But these assholes on the street running around with their precious Quran, trying to excuse away what they're doing. The Quran doesn't say murder innocent concert attendees, does it? But on October 7th, the Muslim terrorists did just that, plus rape, hold hostage, torture, mutilate, extort, etc. Of course, the Quran doesn't use those words, like torture, mutilate, extort, take hostage. It doesn't say those words, but they're doing it, and they're using the Quran as their justification. Now, what the guy did say, in defense of the fact that, well, some Muslims attack Jews and others, they say, it does say that if attacked, they, Muslims, should defend themselves. So why are they attacking women, children, men, Christians, white people? Why are they raping white women? Why? Why are they beating people? Why are they killing people? Well, I don't know. I guess being a woman or a non-Muslim, an infidel, a Christian is the LGBTQ crowd says it's a microaggression. Maybe these are micro Quran aggressions that Muslims don't like. These radical Muslims, not all of them, folks, just the radical wackos. It's a micro Quran aggression, and therefore it's an attack. And since the Quran says defend yourself, when they see one of these attacks, I guess they're justified in attacking anyone for offending them and their beliefs. If they want to put this trash on my fucking channel, my subscription page, I'll watch it and tear it to pieces. I want to ask you this, though. Is it on your subscription page? I don't watch Quran stuff. I don't listen to Muslim clerics and imams. Why would they put that shit on my channel? Well, I've also had a lot of blue hair, pink hair, green hair, purple hair women in the shorts video section. I don't want to hear those fucking pigs, but they're recommending them. They're just sliding them in there. This is the new social media attack. It's part of the SHTF propaganda, get in your face technique. And they're doing it. Are they doing it to you? I sent these videos around to people in my immediate circle, the R Syndicate, and a few others. What do you think? What do you think? If I sent, let me back that up. If there were Christians out there, individual Christians committing acts of terror against Japanese people, okay, I'm going to pick on the Japanese here. If white Christians were committing acts of terror against Japanese people in America, using their Christian beliefs to do so for whatever reason, and I had a YouTube channel where I would go out and try and defend that using the good book, I would be what is known as an apologist, trying to explain away their shit, because I'm trying to defend that and explain it away and justify it. You can't do that. It doesn't work. You can't say it's cool to murder people because, well, the Bible says so, but it doesn't say that. These people are doing things in the name of Allah, Muhammad, and the Quran. And then they turn around and say, but that's not what it says. You want your cake and you're going to eat it too? Oh, I'm sorry. You want your falafel and you're going to eat it too? You want your couscous and you're going to eat it too? You want your goat love and you're going to eat it too? Fucking people. I tell you, it's not going to end well, folks. It isn't. And Europe is not going to end well if they keep pushing their shit. Belarus, folks, has a military doctrine that is going to provide for the use of nuclear weapons. That's right. Belarus has nuclear weapons that have been provided to it by Russia. Well, in what instance will we use these weapons? Belarus has decided they need to ask themselves. Under what circumstances, what conditions? Well, they now have that military doctrine ready. Europe is a powder keg that could be incinerated before it has a chance to blow up. Fortunately, I think the Belarusians only have tactical nukes. Maybe Biden can piss off Belarus also. Let's see how far they push this, folks. I sure hope you are ready. Get your questions down below. We're going to go my 30-minute monologue and then head to you for your questions, your thoughts, your insights, your historical references, maybe some quotes. Let's find out. But first, I've got more. Oh, yeah. Chinese researchers, folks, have a deadly strain of cerveza bug. Does this sound like disease X, pandemic X? Apparently, it targets the brain, and it has a 100% kill rate in mice. They created this. They've made that claim. And then they said, well, you know, there's some potential risk for humans because we have this stuff. How brilliant is that? How brilliant are these fucking people? They're like, let's invent something really deadly and then, well, maybe it'll escape again. I don't know, folks. You know who I think is probably susceptible to it? People who have taken the Jim Jones juice. I think they just might be the people most susceptible to brain just destruction based on what they've taken, and then maybe they'll get this brand new disease X. We're going to find out, folks. Now, I had a young person today tell me how they almost wanted to, certainly had to join the FBI, and they wanted to do sting operations with the FBI because they wanted to do good things to stop drugs, human trafficking, and all that shit. Well, I wanted to, but I just played it really cool. But I figure I'll share with you. The FBI, those stalwart studs who like to pull on their own puds. The FBI, folks, had a sting operation, and it turned out to be an entrapment scheme. Entrapment. What they did was they helped an autistic, which means they've got mental issues, cognitive issues, relative issues with other people. They're different than normal people. They're autistic. The FBI helped an autistic 16-year-old child plan a trip to go join ISIS. The FBI are such heroes. Folks, they're fruits with badges. When we end up having our confrontations in this country, always understand, please remember, the people that will be facing you have the same mentality as the FBI, who would entrap an autistic 16-year-old, who would go and entrap a bunch of ding-dongs by convincing them they need to kidnap the governor of Michigan and then arrest him for listening to the FBI agent who said you should kidnap the governor. The same FBI, folks, that can catch every single January 6th protester, but can't catch a single fucking Antifa, BLM terrorist that burned, looted, and murdered. That's the FBI. The same FBI that decided they're going to raid Mar-a-Lago, President Trump's home, a private residence and plant evidence. The same FBI that will not do anything about Biden and all his, not just a box, but boxes after location after location, unsecured location after unsecured location, secret documents. The same FBI that will not arrest Hunter Biden. Not only, folks, not only for throwing away his handgun in a garbage can, but also having cocaine on his, of all things, folks, cocaine. Cocaine on his gun bag, gun pouch, gun case. Now, guns combined with illegal drugs. How about some fucking jail time for Hunter? His gun bag, gun pouch has cocaine on it. I mean, on the one hand, you go, hey, he does cocaine over here, but he keeps his guns over here. But when you combine the cocaine and the guns, doesn't that mean something to somebody? What the fuck? We're there, folks. We're there. We're absolutely there. I hope you are enjoying some of the rants that I get into in the mornings as I travel through the dark. Just crazy. Crazy. We all need to fight back, folks. There is no justice. There's no decency in this country from the left. There's no justice from the left. There's no goodwill from the left. Let me give you an example of leftists. There is a J6 political prisoner. He's deaf. He can't hear. Guess who he's been disowned by? His parents. You know what makes this worse? His parents are his two mothers. And the LGBT community have also disowned this guy. And the deaf community has also banned this guy. I want you to think about this right here. The J6, January 6, 2021 protesters weren't protesting Joe Biden. They were protesting the election. They weren't protesting against the government. They were protesting that the process needed to be done properly. By the way, they caused the riot in order to stop the proper procedural activity to stop what was happening. It's just, I would like to think about this. It sounds to me like lesbians don't like freedom. Because this J6 protester, he was there to make sure rights, liberties, duties, responsibilities were supposed to be done properly. So I guess lesbians don't like freedoms because they won't even support their own son who was there to protect all of our rights. Maybe we should take away all the gay rights and then see if the lesbians and gays demand to have their personal liberties restored. They wouldn't like it if we said, you know what, you're gay, you're out. It's illegal. We catch you being gay, living with someone, and we know you're gay, you're going to jail. You don't have any gay rights. You don't have a right to be gay. How would they like that shit? How would they like it if we said that gays are deplorable and we need to put you in re-education camps to get your fucking minds right? That's what they say about us. They say that we don't have the right to free speech and we don't have a Second Amendment. Well, I want to thank Fuzzy for that today. Yeah, they wouldn't like that, folks. Not a bit. They wouldn't like it a bit. taking their rights away from them. How dare you? How dare you? Unbelievable. Anyways, Fuzz Fork, he did a video today, and he talked about the Second Amendment, and it is exclusive. And I'd never thought about it this way before. Oftentimes, the governments will have exclusions or exclusive rules where you can do this and this and that, except for. But there is no part B, C, D, E, or F to the Second Amendment. It says, shall not be infringed. It doesn't say, with the exception of AR-15s. It doesn't say, with the exception of all assault rifles. It doesn't say, with the exception of 30-round magazines. It doesn't say, with the exception of anything. There is no exception. It doesn't say machine guns are out. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Crazy, folks. Remember yesterday I talked about Sarah, the trans man Kirillo, who is the spokes freak for Zelensky over in Ukraine? Well, this idiot wants some more headlines and claims that they'll be meeting with congressional heads at the White House today, and wants to say some more stupid shit about Gonzalo Lira, Captain Red Pill. Now, here's a fact. The Biden administration and the Biden White House is a complete and total freak show. A complete and total freak show. Believe it, folks. That's what we've got out there. Now, interestingly, I was sent a fake video. We all got a fake video today. And it showed a young man, probably 30-ish, dressed up in a suit, standing at the podium at the World Economic Forum. And he told off Klaus Schwab and the entire WEF, told them to go fuck themselves. I thought it was entertaining. And it was a cool fake. And wouldn't we all love the ability to stand up and tell these fuckers what we think of them? Well, interestingly, the new Argentinian president, Javier Milei, right, Mr. Chainsaw, he was at the World Economic Forum. And I thought, man, sold out, right? No. Instead, he crapped all over the concept of socialism, which covers fascism and communism, folks. This is his first appearance there. He did not treat them very nicely and kiss their asses. And this is what he had to say from the podium, folks, not from an interview on the street, not from a table or a booth, at the podium. He said, the leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. Collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. He spoke that in a manner akin to the style Ronald Reagan would. He would paint a picture and then show you how wrong it is and how right it is. And he had to speak about also feminism. He said all that this radical feminism agenda has led to is greater state intervention to hinder the economic process, giving a job to bureaucrats who have not contributed anything to society. I thought that was fucking beautiful. He's went after all of them, folks, and I'm sure he has a whole lot more to say, and they're not going to invite him back. So he says, hey, examples. Ministries of work of women or international organizations devoted to promoting this agenda. Another conflict presented by socialists is that of humans against nature, claiming that we human beings damage the planet, which should be protected at all costs, even going as far as advocating for population control mechanisms or the bloody abortion agenda. He let them fucking have it, folks. He did. He did not punch at them like a big wimp. He let them have it. He said, socialism is always and everywhere an impoverishing phenomenon that has failed wherever it's been tried. Mr. Milua linked socialism to economic, social, and cultural failures and accused it of being responsible for the deaths of over 100 million people. Just like I say every time I discuss socialism, communism, fascism, they're all socialism, just with prettier names. Next week, Milua's funeral, since he accidentally shot himself 12 times in the back. I'm glad he stood up and said these words. Guess what? Who's going to hear him? Nobody. You, me, and a few of us in the alternative media, folks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy has the balls to stand up and let those fuckers have it, and no one will ever hear about it. Well, here we are, 30 minutes in. I want to know what you guys have on your mind. Let's go there. Oh, yeah, we are there. Mr. Uman, holy cow. We got a big, energized crowd today. Roy, the crypto boy, says, World Economic Forum meeting is this week. Trump won Iowa in a landslide. The World Economic Forum is Klaus Schwab, folks. He is scared of Trump. And this is great. VP idiot Kamala Harris mentioned about being unopposed in the election is trying to keep Trump off the ballot, the Democrat plan. All right, Roy. Here is what idiot Kamala Harris said. When she said running without an opponent, could that have been a slight reference to having Trump assassinated? Having the Republicans kept off the ballot? Well, that could be a very veiled, way in the back, offhand point at that. But I think what the idiot Kamala Harris is saying is that they're going to run as if there is no opponent. They're going to stand up there and talk platitudes of Democrat socialist crap. They're going to talk about the virtues of globalist climate tax policies and pretend like Trump isn't there. Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to run without an opponent. Well, the fucking idiots in the Democrat Party also don't have a platform that they're standing on. Right? A party platform used to be lower taxes. That was a good one. Less regulation. That was a good one. What else can the government do for us? All I want them to do is get out of the way and stop screwing with our rights. Stop taxing us, stop regulating us, stop controlling us, stop interfering with us. Stop censoring us, stop arresting us, stop threatening us. You know, stuff like that. That's a great platform. Let's see. Republicans have a platform. It would be, a strong border versus the Democrats who have a border policy that is open to everyone who wants to come in. You think they're going to talk about that as a platform? Open border. It's a win. Is it? Destroy the military is the Democrat platform. Kill our military so we've got no defense nationally. They can't say that. I don't know what they're going to talk about other than Bidenomics and continue to lie and say it actually did something. Right? The dumb bitches in the Democrat Party don't have a platform, so they may as well run like there is no opponent. Unbelievable. You think people are going to get excited about Biden or Kamala, Gavin Newsom, or Michelle Obama? They can't get excited about that, folks. You know what they need? They need to point at Trump, call him the villain, call him the white supremacist, call him the Nazi, so they can get their voters riled up. I hope, Roy, that they run without an opponent. because they will be bored to death if they're not going to talk about Trump. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Uman. Who wants to roll into the house next? And Uman wants to. He says the extreme climate activists can't think past the end of their noses. They don't even know what all the luxuries they enjoy are made of and made with. Don't see what will happen if they succeed. Of course they don't. That is a great observation. These people are so short-sighted. Incredibly short-sighted. I'm waiting for them to say, I'm hungry and I would like a hot dog, and then chop their own wieners off, right? Because, well, must look like a little hot dog to them, a little Viennese weenie. And, oh, yeah, I didn't know that was my own dick. That's what they do. They shoot themselves in their own dick. They cut themselves off. They castrate themselves. They're morons. But guess what, folks? In order to cut your own dick off, you've got to have a meat cleaver. And that's just it. These people have power and authority to cause damage. And they're doing it. And they're going to keep doing it. And they're not going to stop until they're removed. I wish we had the cliffs of Dover to run all of our Democrat lemmings off of. Imagine that picture. That's a funny picture in my head. And fuck them if they don't like it. Seriously, fuck them. With all the shit they say about us, I'm supposed to worry about offending them. See, that's the problem, is we as Americans, me and you, patriots, we're supposed to be afraid of offending them, of triggering them, of upsetting them. That is the exact thing you should be doing, is offending the fuck out of these un-American, treasonous, traitorous bastards. And anyone who supports them. Chin Music says, when they're not man enough to lay pipe, they blow it. That's right. That's some very masculine reference there to pipe. Yeah, it's funny. The left winger, he wants to blow the pipeline up. I tell you, unbelievable. What a day. Fucking YouTube. I'm telling you. Let's do it. Mr. Uman, who is next? Barking Wolf Spider says the thing they aren't telling us is that glaciation, aka ice age, is the norm. The warming period is abnormal. About a 100,000 year cycle. 80,000 years of cold, 20,000 years of warm. That's pretty interesting. There are quite a few cities off the coast of India, Japan, and other places around the world where the sea levels are, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet lower in order for that city to be, above the water. It could be right. And I'll tell you what, even if it was 80,000 years of warm and 20,000 years of cold, it's still normal for both to exist. It's still normal. You know what they haven't satisfactorily explained to me? Is what causes either of them to occur. Why does it all of a sudden need to get cold? Why does it all of a sudden need to get hot? Could it be the sun? All right. Thank you very much for that. Glaciation, fucking ice age. They happen. If there's not an ice age, it's a warming period. We just happen to be here right now, and we're going to blame everything on the automobile. Okay, Uman, who is up next? We got, Uman, he says, this is from eggs. Have you heard about this? Illegal aliens are being given exemptions by the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms bureaucracy. A federal bureaucracy. They're giving exemptions to illegals to purchase guns and serve as police officers. What the fuck is eggs? I don't know what eggs is, man. Help me out. I'm just a little frosted over it.
Eggs is one of the subscribers.
Ah, very good. I thought it was a newspaper.
No, that was posted in Subscribe Star. So
okay, very
I
good.
copied it over.
I have not heard about this. Thank you, man. I have not heard about this. I have heard it proposed that illegals or Africans or other non-Americans are going to be hired into Chicago, New York City, large metropolitan police departments, because they don't have enough Americans that are willing to do that job. So that's just it. Let's hire people who are not Americans and give them guns. Now, here's the deal. Police are issued their service weapon. They're issued a gun, a handgun. They are issued a shotgun. They are issued an M16 fully automatic assault rifle with 30-round magazines. That's government issue. They don't own it. That way, you've seen the movies where they're like, that's it, Officer McCool, you're bad. So I want your badge and your gun on my desk. If I was a cop and it was my gun, I'd say, go fuck yourself, Captain. That's my gun. And you can take the badge. You can stick it in your ass. Right? Anyways, the cool movies, they say cool shit like that. Anyways, I have not heard this. I've heard a lot of, shall we say, rumor about it. Usually what I like to do is ask for a news source, right? Give me a source, and then I can look up the article. Okay, and Barking Wolf Spire says, actually, yes, Uman. Class of aliens just graduated from California Law Enforcement Academy. No shit. Just saw a quick video. Most looked Latin or Middle Eastern types. Hey, California sounding great. There's another problem we have here is videos and news aren't always news. So I want to caution people on jumping to conclusions. A lot of times I have said and read news stories and they were just incorrect, or they were the Onion or something. And I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is you need to be certain you're reading a real news story. I've been tricked many times by them. Fake news, parodies. So I'm interested. I want to look into this. I want to see if it's an actual story. I mean, there are some newspapers, internet folks out there that are, they make the most radical, wacko, crazy ass complaints about what is happening, and they're just completely fabricated. A lot of the QAnon stuff follows that sort of flow. Right now, Joe Biden's dead and Kamala Harris is dead, and there's an alien in the White House, the green kind from Mars, and they'll make the wildest claims. And they're fear-based, and they're fear porn and some weird shit. I really try and be safe. So I would like to look into this and see if they are not only talking about it, but they're actually going through with it. So if you would, Barking Wolf Spider, email or put the link up so that Uman can grab that for me. Thank you very much. Listen, there's so much shit that has occurred. I've said, no way. And then they're like, way. And I'm like, you mean that was real? That's where we're at now? Kind of like this. In Portland, Oregon, Antifa torched a car. That is, they committed the act of arson. They burned it, set it on fire. And it's not just that Antifa burned a car. Hell, that's an everyday occurrence for these fucking assholes. But they did it outside of a city commissioner's home. And then they went even further and said, we need to do this more. They're calling for more attacks, more terror. But the ATF, they need to keep an eye on Americans, make sure that they're filling out their gun paperwork correctly when they buy a gun, except for Hunter Biden. He can lie on his application and then rub cocaine all over the fucking gun. Yeah, I'm telling you, folks, there's some crazy shit out there. If I had been told 10 years ago that Antifa would burn a car to the ground. Arson is also, by the way, folks, attempted murder, or it can be. And they did this to a politician. And then they went out publicly and said, more of this needs to happen. They would go out and arrest the little fuckers. They would find their little den that they all sleep together in. And they would just fuck them up. I don't know. The world, folks, the world. Has it hit the fan? Are there any doubts? I tell you, it's coming. It is coming. It is coming very fast. Mr. Uman, what else do we want to talk about today? Name redacted says you never hear about the op Soros ran for years, called the Secretary of State Project, leading up to 2020. It was to seize election control through each state's Secretary of State. I believe this is most successful in the state of Georgia, where Secretary of State Ratspermberger, a Republican, has done everything he can to obstruct justice and actually cause all of the problems in Georgia. Now, that's where Trump is being sued by fat-ass Fani Willis, who is herself going to be tried as early as February for her crimes of having an illicit sexual relationship with a coworker, who she then turned against Trump and told him to prosecute him and attack him. Unbelievable, folks. I'm surprised the news is even covering that. I'm surprised that she's even getting in trouble for that. But back to you, name redacted. Yes. Soros has many operations. Secretary of State Project, all of the district attorneys, folks, at the local level, not federal, not the very top. Soros came down to where we are on the street and started paying money, supporting, campaigning for, doing mailers for, whatever it took to get local scumbag Democrats elected as district attorneys. And then at the state level, secretaries of state. And they will do anything they can to keep their power and keep Trump out, to keep their power and come after us. I say, bring it on, fuckers. They got to start somewhere, folks. They're going to have to pull the trigger somewhere on gun confiscation, arresting citizens for being free, arresting citizens for talking, arresting citizens for owning a weapon, like in Illinois. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. So Illinois should start confiscating weapons. Let's just get it started. Let's just kickstart this one right in the fucking guts. Meanwhile, in Florida, 3 sheriffs have now come out. I can't remember who sent me this one. 3 sheriffs came out on the news, mainstream media, telling their people, that is, the people in the counties over which they preside as sheriffs, told them that if you're not afraid of guns, get a gun. That would be Sheriff Grady Judd. I think Brevard County, and I can't remember the other county as well. But 3 counties said, that's it. You need to get a gun. One of the sheriffs even said, when criminals attack, either a citizen or police need to be there to stop it. He didn't say police, and if there's a citizen handy. The sheriff came out and said citizens need to handle stuff, or the sheriff's department, the law enforcement. He said people before law enforcement. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. They said they don't have enough law enforcement personnel to handle major situations. Right? Whether it's an out-of-control protest or an act of terror, basically pointing at Antifa and BLM and these pro-Palestinian Hamas fucks. He just didn't name them by name, but I'll do it. I'm not afraid of them, folks. They can harass people. They can get in their faces. They can shake their stupid books and their communist manifestos. They are godless, worthless people. And they hate you and they hate your country. Better be ready for them, folks. Heidi checks in and says, John, what happens if Trump wins and they refuse to certify it? Well, that is a great question, Heidi. And I do. Oh, I got to remember to check my mail. Now, right now, there's a Republican Congress. It's a thin margin. But do you think the Republicans in Congress, do you think they have the guts, the Republicans, folks, even if they are never Trumpers, do you think they have the guts to vote to not certify? You know what I think, Heidi? I think there are enough rhino Republicans that hate Trump, that are scared to fucking death of what he could do to them, exposing them all. You know what? I hope he does. I hope he does not give amnesty. I hope he doesn't pardon them after they've been caught for what they've been doing. I hope they prosecute the fuck out of them. The Democrats are scared to death of Trump. And I think that is a good thing, folks. Hey, look, I don't know how many of you have told me, either in this channel or privately, that there's no way we're going to get out of this mess without a civil war, a partisan conflict, people getting shot in the fucking streets. I've heard again and again that it's coming and there's no way to stop it at this point. I am not inciting violence. I don't think, right, this should happen, but I believe it's going to. There's no way we're getting out of this without violence, not now. It's coming. It's a great question. They can decide they're not going to certify Trump in an effort, a glorious last-ditch effort to say, fuck you to Trump, and we would rather have violence in the streets over an uncertified election. I'm waiting for it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 ammo cans. 1, 2, 3. Everything is all lined up, ready to go. Go ahead. Try me, motherfuckers. Ooh, man, who's next? We got Misty Cook, says John. John Campbell, MD. He's a doctor on YouTube, says that the lab in China that's working on disease X is only at a level 2 security. That's the same that Cerveza bug was at. They just can't wait for this to get out. Misty Cook, only if it's necessary. Remember the World Economic Forum, a.k.a. Illuminati. Things can go to the right politically. Things can go to the left politically. They've got a game plan for any way. What they need is a crisis on a global/worldwide level. And they will manipulate every government they can to give them what they want. More power, more money. They don't give a fuck. They don't. Do you think the World Economic Forum cares if Trump gets in office? In fact, they may want it. Then they would tell their banking masters, let the system collapse so everyone blames Trump. Let the fight out happen. Let the breaking country happen. Let the shit hit the fan. Let it go Mad Max and see what happens to America or to Europe or to England. All they do is benefit, folks. They'll support both sides so they get what they want. Old trick. Oldest trick in the book. If you're selling weapons, sell them to both sides. You win in a war. All right, man, who's up next? Name redacted says, apparently the FBI figured out how and got a foothold on these hack and ransom attacks just as a new international surveillance agreement is assembled. Methinks it is more Hegelian dialect. I agree. Problem, reaction, solution. Government, FBI creates a problem. Hey, they go, we got the solution because people are screaming, you got to save us, you got to help us. So the government goes, hey, we got a solution right here. We'll fix everything for you. They're the ones that caused it in the first fucking place. Thank you, name redacted. Ooh, man, I know we got a lot more to talk about. We're running out of time. Chin Music says the Daily Wire just reported that the federal government has flagged the terms Trump and Make America Great, MAGA, for banks to comb through customer data. Social credit score. Financial punishment. You bet, folks. They find out who you are and they take away your right. You have a right to engage in commerce. The dollar bill is a public instrument. You cannot be deprived of your rights to public property, public instruments, public means. It is unlawful. Fuck, Obama wants to tell you that everyone has a right to access healthcare, but you don't have a right to access the food store with money that should be yours that the government or some bank is fucking destroyed. It's coming. They're going to keep pushing, Chin. They're going to keep pushing. Fuck them. I say bring it on. Try it. Absolutely try it. You know what will develop quicker than shit? Black markets. The very thing they're trying to kill with their central bank digital currency, their CBDCs. They want to get rid of all private transactions so they can see everything, control everything, and take it away from you. We're going to see, folks. We're going to see. Thank you, Chin. Mr. Uman, we got more. I know it. Okay, man, I got you on the message. I got a couple things to talk about. Great. Name redacted says, Raskin and Markey. They're scumbag politicians who are Democrats. Raskin and Markey are trying to pass laws making anything interpreted as training illegal and arrestable. This has to do with guns, does it not? Training with guns. Yeah. They want anything training. Let's see. The right to keep and bear arms has a purpose. The purpose is to allow the individual to use a weapon to protect the country, protect the state, protect the citizens, protect themselves. There's another word in there that they often overlook. The word is regulate. A well-regulated militia. You know what regulated actually meant, the term back then? Well-regulated, well-trained. The right of the people, right? For a well-regulated militia, well-trained. They would be, once again, violating the Constitution directly by doing this. These fucking people are scum. That's all there is to it. I mean, there really is nothing else to say about them. They're scum. They want the border open. They want us at war. They want babies dead. They want you silenced. They want you to eat bugs. That's what they want. That's what they want. Folks, this was great. A diaper company in New York City is pro-life. Well, it would make sense that diaper companies are pro-life because they sell diapers to put on baby butts. So this diaper company, interestingly enough, decided to put Elon Musk's quote, from Twitter X. They put his quote on the billboard in Times Square. And I can hear the tears splashing all the way down in the bunker here. You know what it said? It's part of their Make More Babies campaign. And the sign says, the Elon Musk quote is, having children is saving the world. And then under that, every life, changing diapers, changing lives. I think that's great. I bet those people, those left-wing scumbags, are just shitting themselves. So if a diaper company can fight back and say what it thinks needs to be said, you should too. if Chin Music, if Uman, if if Orlando, if Bonnie Blue, if Darcy T, if any of us, right, should be speaking, all of us should be speaking to fight. The fight is coming. Just us talking about it won't fix anything. We've got to take it to the streets. Am I saying do anything illegal? No. Take it to the streets, the people you know in the streets, and start talking about it. Every day I'm saying some shit that people are like, I can't believe you just said that. You go, well, trust me, I got more. And ask them, where does it say in the First Amendment that the government or a private company can shut you up, silence you? Where does it say they have the right to do that, the power to do that? We're in the fight for our lives, folks. Don't wait until you're gasping for a breath of air. Don't wait until they've got their hands around your neck and they're choking you to realize you need to fight back. Don't wait until there's a criminal putting a gun to the back of your head before you realize you should have a weapon. Don't wait until the store shelves are empty before you realize you should have gone to the thepreparedmind.club and checked out what kind of food we recommend. Click the link. Make sure you've got food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense, because it is going to get worse and worse. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi. These fucking people in DC.